about the disappointment of that one.
Yeah, we didn't get off the greatest start early and just, kind of feeling our way through it and kind of got a score right for the half and came out and still kind of feeling our way through it, then kind of battled back here in the fourth quarter and driving down with a chance to win. I think anytime you're in a ball game, you have a chance to go win at the end of the game. That's where you want to be. Obviously we've got to execute, stick in the end zone and give ourselves that opportunity. But, I thought our kids fought to the end. We got a lot of stuff to clean up. You obviously always do after game one. But shout out to Coach, hats off to Coach Doran and his football team. I thought they did some good things, and honestly, they executed better than we did tonight, and that was the difference in the game.
You guys really struggled to run the ball in this game. What was the difference in the second half? You were able to open up the pass and started moving the ball a lot better.
Yeah, I thought we finally, moved the chains a little bit. They were the first 4 times we had the football, we were 3 and out, and that makes a big difference. Their defense doesn't get tired. They're fresh. They can hone in, and we never got ahead of the sticks. We were always behind the sticks there early. And I think the first half time of possession was 20 minutes to their team, 10 minutes to our team. And we got to do a better job with that. And it starts with running the football. It starts up front. So we obviously got to go back to work there.
Talk about the fourth down play a little bit.
Yeah, we had a little Y flat. They had cover 0, trying to pick a man player for DeCerio. And, kind of got 8 out of bounds there. And they actually called Anthony on a pick as well, which is behind the line of scrimmage. So it shouldn't have been anyways. But, that was just an opportunity to move the sticks and keep on going at it. And, if we scored, we'd already talked on the headsets. We're going to go for 2 there and go for the win. I mean, you're on the road in a hostile environment and a great game, and I think that's an opportunity to go win the game right there.
Ontario and Spalding really emerged in this game. What can you say about some of the new weapons that you have to work with?
Yeah, I don't know about new weapons, but they're certainly football players. I mean, Brock Spalding is a football player, and he always has been. I've been trying to get him to play defense for years, but he's a heck of a receiver, heck of a young man, and did a great job catching the ball tonight.
Coach, you mentioned the slow start. I know it's easy for a team to kind of dig a hole and kind of get in their heads a little bit. What'd you say to the guys, in order to have a chance there in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think we let the crowd maybe affect us a little bit. When we go up to Annapolis, 8 months ago, our crowd was bringing the energy, and we didn't do a great job of that early in the game, and we got to do a better job of that. And some of that comes with success and moving the sticks. When you're getting 3 and out, you kind of pause a little bit. But we got to do a better job playing ahead of the sticks. We missed some blocks on the perimeter. That was probably the biggest area that, got us behind the sticks on the offensive side of the ball is the blocking on the perimeter. We got to do a better job there.
So conflicted, y'all get momentum, get bad snap, ball story. Those mistakes seem to add up.
Yeah, those are some obviously game one things, but you don't want it to happen against a good football team and you get your tail beat like you did tonight. But we got to get those things cleaned up. The snap over the head, and then just some of the penalties defensively. The lay hit on the quarterback, I guess, and then the PI in the end zone cost you points. We got a third down here. It's 3-0. We got a third down here, and he runs the ball. We just got to be smarter and do a better job of there and hold them to a field goal and it's 6-0. And field goals won't get you beat. Touchdowns will, and obviously touchdowns got to beat tonight.
What's the biggest lesson or takeaway that is going to help you propel in the future?
I think it's going against an opponent. It's just game one. Like when you go against yourself, you don't know exactly where you're at or what you got to improve on, or you get a pretty good feel for it. But you go play a 60-minute ball game against a good opponent, and in an atmosphere like this, you find out exactly where you are. And unfortunately came up on the wrong side of it, side I don't want to be on. But we got to improve from here. I think the biggest improvement a football team usually makes is after the first loss or after the first game, and it both happened tonight. So we got to get back at it. I told the guys, and I would have said this regardless of how the game went. It's just one game, and that one game's not going to define our season. Win or lose. You got to get right over it pretty quick. You got to get on to the next one and to work on Campbell, and that's going to be the biggest game of the year because it's the next game of the year.
Coach, you kind of feel like Katin missed some throws early. Just how did you see him kind of bounce back in that second half?
Katin's resilient. I mean, he's such a leader. I think he can, he'll be the hardest critic on himself probably. But he's playing well. I think he's going to even play better this year. And we haven't seen the best from Katin Hauser yet. And he'll get better each and every week. And out wide, we got to do a better job helping him out a little bit too.
Are you surprised at how difficult it was to run the ball?
In the bowl game, I think we rushed for a pretty good amount, and they got some looks in the bowl game that just kind of gave you some third down looks that we were able to run the football against, and obviously the big run at the end of the game there, and pop some other ones in there too. But they're pretty sound tonight. Obviously Coach Elliott did a great job with the defense and bring some new pieces in there and really sound. And some of that too is just when they go 3 and out, and we get behind the sticks and we don't get them tired. And and they can be fresh, then they can get their third down package in. Everything's plays into their hand rather than, hey, us having the advantage.
Coach, I know you mentioned earlier in the week that this game is a huge win just for the state of North Carolina. What do you just think about the environment?
Yeah, I mean, you got 50-something thousand plus fans here, and what a great rivalry game for our fans. NC State, shout out to Pirate Nation for showing up. Thought they were loud. Everybody stay here to the end. And, we talked about the revenue earlier in the week, stays in the state of North Carolina. I think if NC State would have had La Tech or NIU in here today, probably not a packed house. But just I think it's really good for our state. Hopefully our legislators pick up on that and hope to keep these games in state and keep these rivalries going. And, even though we came up on the bottom end of it, you would love to play these games every year for sure.
Katin wasn't the outcome you wanted, obviously, but can you take some things from this game, especially the way you guys played in the second half there at the very end especially?
Yeah, definitely a disappointing loss. Didn't do enough on offense. Started off really slow. Defense played really well. Got some key stops at the end, especially on those field goals, missing field goals. Offense, we got to capitalize. We got to do better. Started picking up steam towards the end of the game, but kind of just ran out of time there. We just got to pick it up. And our motto on offense, start fast. We did not do that today, so we got to pick that up.
Were you surprised you had some problems running the football?
I mean, no, some games you run the football well, some games you don't. I think that one of those games where we just had to pass it. We'll get that figured out. We have some guys rotating on the O-line, so once we get that figured out, I think we're going to start rolling. So, yeah, it is what it is.
They do anything you didn't expect? Obviously, game one, it was sort of adjustment period.
Yeah, I mean, first couple drives, just kind of get their look on our belt and trying to figure out what they're doing. But once we got that figured out towards the second half, I felt like we were rolling. I felt like we were in rhythm. I felt like we just ran out of time there. We had a chance to win the game, and we just didn't capitalize. I mean, it sucks, but we just got to go over it and move on.
When it comes to the first half, did you feel like timing with receivers and stuff was a bit of the issue?
I mean, maybe, yeah. I missed some throws, so I mean, I put that on myself. Got to make those throws, especially in big time situations. So yeah, I put that on me. I got to clean that up.
Talk about the fourth down play a little bit.
Yeah. So we knew they were gonna play man coverage. We're gonna get O on the flat, get him a crack, and try to get him a one-on-one. And they just made a good play, made a good tackle on the perimeter. So I mean, props to them making a good play on that play.
Okay, what can you say about the depth of the receivers right now? It seems like a lot of targets today. What can you say about?
Yeah, we have a ton of receivers, a lot of depth there. Spalding had a big game, showed up. So we have a lot of guys who can rotate in there and go make plays, so I'm not worried about that.
How tough is it to make plays, though, when you have a hand in your face or you got guys chasing you all over the place? And will this be, do you think, one of the tougher matchups as far as that's concerned?
I mean, you practice for it. You practice with pressure in your face, so I'm used to it. And obviously, there's stuff in your face and stuff's going to happen, but you just got to make those plays, got to capitalize. It's part of football.
How much confidence can you guys know that you didn't play nearly your best, but you probably could have left here?
Yeah, towards the end there, I thought we had a good rhythm going. We were lighting up the stadium, and we were going down about to score. So we could take that and light a fire for the rest of the season, going to run.
You just talk about the end of that thing. It was so close coming to the end, even as much as you guys struggled early.
Yeah, I mean, we struggled early, but we bounced back. And I think that, on everybody's faces, nobody was scared. Everybody was super poised and, just excited to go out and, fight to win the game. And it didn't fall our way, but, we have a great football team, and I think that it's going to show throughout the year.
How about your pick a little bit? What did you see on that play?
I hate taking credit for stuff like that, to be honest. Like, everything's through God. God put me in the right spot for everything, and I'm just glad that I can do it, before halftime, just so we can give our offense a chance to go score before half. What did that play do for the morale of the team? Seemed like everybody on the sideline really got up and worked. Yeah, for sure. I mean, any turnover for the morale of the team is going to be good. You know what I mean? I just wish we had more. We only had one. We should have had at least three. You know what I mean? Like, just to be out there, and not force any turnovers, like, that's completely on us.
I think any self-inflicted mistakes, just
Yeah.
extended drives, and also offense has some negative plays. Just clean that up. How good can you guys be?
Yeah, we're gonna be great. I mean, if we just clean up the little stuff, like it's week one. You know how week one goes. You just have stupid mistakes that you're not used to making. Full speed. Live action with a crowd. Like there's a lot of factors that go into it. I'm not making any excuses at all, but that's just how it is. I mean, once we get that stuff cleaned up, though, we're gonna be good.
You played this big week one game. How big was this environment?
Yeah, I mean, this was probably one of the biggest week one games. I mean, yeah, it's got to be pretty much the biggest week one game. I mean, the environment was good, but like I said before, it's nothing like Greenville.
Teagan, was there anything that the offense threw out today with the new coordinator that was different than what you guys kind of prepared for?
Nah, I mean, we pretty much seen everything. I mean, there's a couple of stuff in the run game where where you got to fit up. You don't necessarily practice. Even in the passing, we just didn't practice that against a certain look. But we always got to be on our toes. And like I said before, like that's not an excuse for us to not be in the right spot.
first game with Josh, calling it, running the defense. How do you feel like the communication went on that?
Yeah, I think it was good, and not only like on the field, but like in the locker room too. Making adjustments. Like it's good to have everybody on their toes. You know what I mean? Like everybody's super alert and going, and I think that he led our defense very well today.
What do you think about the way you guys on third down and getting stops and making sure this field goes at the end there? How important is that for you guys?
Yeah, it's definitely important. I don't know the exact statistics on it. It could be really good. It could be really bad. I mean, I was just out there, and nothing feels right. All I know is we didn't get off the field on third down enough.
Let's talk about what the locker room was like afterwards, because this is very disappointing because you guys came all the way back.
It's disappointing. I mean, you come out there in the second half and you don't finish, and like the way we did, it's definitely disappointing. But to see us fight like that and come back, I mean, I can respect that, and I can respect all my brothers for that. But we got to do that from the first snap. We got to come out here swinging from the first snap, and I think that's what we got to do.
Brock, how much confidence do you take making some big plays? I know you believe in yourself, but to have this type of performance tonight.
I was just doing my 111th. I mean, Katin did his 111th with the football, and he threw a great ball, and I was just able to make a play. So, I mean, I think it all comes down to just doing your 111th, honestly.
Did they do anything early that gave y'all trouble just with being a new coordinator to take some time to figure out what they were doing?
We have rules on our team, and it comes down to Rule 6. I mean, Pirates don't beat Pirates, and I think that was just a little bit on us. We were beating ourselves, and I know we're a lot better than that we put on in the first half, and I know our team knows that. So we're going to go on this week, look over a lot of stuff, and come out and prepare.
When the run wasn't working at all in the first half, you guys obviously opened things up in the second half and were able to start moving the ball. I mean, what can you say about that adjustment that you made, especially against a team that was really putting pressure on you guys?
I think we came out to a slow start running the ball, but at the end of the day, we're going to find a way to make plays and move the ball. It took us a little longer than we wanted to and what we expected, but once again, that's something we got to go in this week and fix.